welcome everybody to our second installment of The Show LA. My name's AP, this is my co-host Lindsay.
What up, guys?
We got a lot of great stuff for you on the schedule today. We went to some great games last week. Battle of the Bishops, Bishop Amat versus Bishop Alemany was the best game I've seen all season. Lindsay, I don't know about you.
That was a nail biter. I was on the edge of my seat till the very end on that one.
It was crazy. So the game came down to a 2-point conversion at the end. We were at a few other games. Long Beach Poly against Long Beach Wilson, Rancho Cucamonga against Chino Hills, J. Sarah against Santa Margarita, but you're gonna see it in the highlights. Lindsay's got the rundown of the show for you.
Right, so like you just mentioned, AP, we're gonna go through the top plays of the week. We're gonna have our hard hits segment, and we actually have our first in-studio guest for that. The Lockhart family came in so graciously and answered a lot of tough questions about transfers. We're gonna have another mystery box segment because I know y'all loved that. And we're also gonna update our CLA yearly awards because we have some new names for that list.
Definitely wanna stay tuned for that. And then also at the end of the show, we're gonna introduce a new segment. We're gonna be fielding highlights from you guys. So whether you're in Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, if you wanna send us your highlights and potentially get featured on The Show LA, go ahead and click the link in our Instagram bio. The email's right there, and shoot us some videos and you might end up on the show.
Awesome, and then we also wanted to address some game fan voting issues that we'd had last week, so AP, take it away on that.
So with the fan voting, as you all know, if we get a ton of votes from your high school, we're gonna come to your school and we're gonna film. But with that being said, your school has to be, you know, a little bit inviting, right? For us to get in there and do our thing. So this week, unfortunately, we're gonna limit it to CIF Southern Section schools until we work out some kinks. But CIF Southern Section schools are eligible for the fan voting. So if you are a CIF Southern Section school and you want the CLA mixtape crew at your game, then you can vote, and voting closes Wednesday at midnight.
Wednesday at midnight, do not forget, and stay tuned for the rest of the show.
And what do they have to do to vote?
Okay, so there's 3 things you gotta do. You gotta follow The Show LA on Instagram, you gotta comment on our YouTube page, and final one?
Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to SportsRecruits on YouTube. The link is right there in our Instagram bio, at SportsRecruits on Instagram, and by the way, we're at Football Recruit on Twitter.
All right, we're starting with the top plays of the week. We're gonna kick it off with Poly at Wilson. Poly ended up winning this one 42-24, and they have a streak going since 1991 over Wilson. And we're taking a look at a really long run by Malachi Rice. He had 97 yards, 65 of them came on this play. So he basically just turns the wheels on and never looks back.
And man, Mekhi Jordan, the Long Beach Poly quarterback, he's a senior, but he broke that guy's ankles, man. There's nothing better to see on a football field than, you know, somebody getting their jock strap dropped, man. And I don't know if they say that anymore, but he dropped his draws, man. He definitely shook him. Mekhi Jordan, a great player, but good to see Long Beach Poly get a big win.
Yeah, they are now undefeated in more league play, so they're on the up and up.
Well, check it out. We Rancho Cucamonga, Chino Hills. This was a huge game. One of our Showstopper of the Year candidates, Silas Bolden.
I mean, this was the Silas Bolden show, I think. This is his 90-yard kick return. A lot of green grass in front of him. He just takes off to the house. I mean, it's
and
awesome.
All you young kick returners out there, this is how you do it. Don't shake and bake. Don't try to juke 18 guys. Silas Bolden, one cut, pew, to the zone. One cut and go. Only way you're cribbing a kick return. Trust me. You always like to see this, man. Coach dialed up a little bit of trickery with the flea flicker. CJ Stroud, he's impressive, right?
He's crazy. I mean, it's the dynamic duo of CJ Stroud and Silas Bolden. I mean, they lit this game up, and like you said, I love seeing the trick play in a high school game.
CJ Stroud, he's averaging over 300 yards a game of passing this year on max preps. He's 3rd in Division 1 and 2 in the CIF Southern Section. So CJ Stroud, definitely a baller you want to look out for. Here we go, Damian Moore for the 2nd week in a row, man. This guy's impressive. We're going to talk about him a little bit more on our CLA Player of the Year awards, but he's got 400 yards rushing in the last 2 games, 5 touchdowns. This touchdown here, man, it was a bruising run, and he also had the game-winning 2-point conversion. Yeah,
that 2-point conversion was the reason that Bishop Amat was able to take it away. You know, really gutsy, bold play. I mean, and they trusted him, and I could see why.
They just edged Bishop Alemany. Tobin Odell, he's a great player, young quarterback, only a sophomore, had a couple of key touchdown passes against Alemany, and he put them in position to win the game on the go-ahead 2-point conversion.
So I know Amont won this game, but I want to nominate somebody for the I Need Love section. That's freshman RJ Jones from Alemany. So you can't really see on this play, but the ball actually bounces off of the receiver's chest. Still able to get the pick. I mean, laser focus, he's tracking the ball, and that's my official nominee for that section.
With the LL Cool J reference, I Need Love. RJ Jones actually got some love. I saw on Instagram today that he picked up a BYU offer. So his first offer,
all right.
3 picks on the year, man, he's getting some love. But I don't know what was more impressive. The running, jumping throw by Tobin Odell.
I know, he got
to be
some
that
air,
athletic.
yes.
A sophomore quarterback, Tobin Odell, by the way. This touchdown pass right here to put them in position to score the go-ahead 2-point conversion with the run by Damian Moore was crucial. And I don't know, it's kind of tricky right here because it looks like the DB intercepts it, but...
Yeah, it looks like there's 2 people on it, so maybe explain that for everybody at home.
I think what the officials rule there is if it's a simultaneous catch by the offense and the defense, I think they default to the offense. So the offensive player gets the credit there, and...
That was a touchdown.
It's 6. What a great game, though. So we definitely picked an amazing game of the week.
Yeah, that was probably the best game I've seen so far this season, so really fun to be there.
Well, next up, we've got some more hard hits, so stay tuned. All right, we're on the show, LA, man. I'm AP. I've got a special guest today. This is actually our first ever guest on the show, man. So, Danny Lockhart II, St. John Bosco linebacker, man. We got a segment called Hard Hits. So today on Hard Hits, we're talking about transfers. So you being a transfer, man, just go through your first thoughts in your mind when you found out you were gonna leave Citrus Valley.
Well, when I figured out I was going to leave Citrus Valley, it was more based on a family decision. I was playing well where I was at. I grew up playing with all my friends, but it just wasn't enough at the time for my recruiting. So I just had to play at the biggest stage. And I thank all my teammates at St. John Bosco, because when I first transferred to St. John Bosco, I had a more mentality of it was all business. I had to get mine. I had to do what I had to do. I didn't come here to make friends. But over the time, I realized like we had bonds growing, and I realized that these guys had my backs. They welcomed me. They were the ones I was gonna be with on Friday nights, and I realized like it wasn't just about me. Everybody had the same goal. We was trying to win a championship, and I was just glad to be surrounded by people with the same mindsets.
Now, what's interesting is, you didn't talk one time about, being nervous or thinking anything negative about the situation, man. And from what we hear on the side of being an adult,
right.
Everybody's talking a lot of negativity about the transfer situation. But what it seems like is you were just, a football player, a young kid excited to go to a new high school and play.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that, one of the issues is, and we're calling this segment Hard Hits, is because a lot of people talk negatively about the transfer situation. But in your scenario, you were just trying to, it seems like, make the best decision that was going to affect your life positively in the future, right?
Exactly.
So what were some of those things that you had in mind, how was it going to make a difference for you being at a school like Bosco compared to Citrus Valley? And no knock against Citrus Valley, but what are schools like Bosco doing so that people are wanting to transfer in?
Bosco prepares you for the next level. They got guys going in. Many seniors from last year already starting at the Division I level, and we run college-style practices. They implement a lot of discipline in their program, and I think that's what makes a big difference between them and just everybody else. And I think that's just why we're where we're at.
Now, at a school like Bosco, you guys aren't a big school. You guys are like 600 students or something like that, right? Not big at all. But coming in, how does the student body welcome a transfer? Because we've heard things at certain schools where, transfers come in and other students might look at them differently. How have you been welcomed as a transfer at Bosco?
It's a brotherhood over there. Like, besides football, like, for example, we got my boy DJ over there. At school, we don't look at him as a 5-star quarterback. We look at him just another kid we grew up with and have fun with. So it's a brotherhood over there. Like, no matter where we're at, we always roll deep.
Now, talking to other guys, are there a group of transfers that have come into Bosco that you've gotten close with because maybe you guys are all first-year students at the school?
It's funny you say that because right when I transferred to Bosco, it was nothing but transfers that I hanged out with because we could all relate more than everybody else that's been there since freshman year. But over time, we all bonded, and we realized, like, wow, like, we never expected that we would be at St. John Bosco, especially me being my senior year.
Now, advice to another kid, you know, you're still in high school, you know, you're a young guy, and other players, they want to take advice from somebody who's actually in their shoes. You know, a lot of the times, man, the youngsters, you guys don't listen to us adults, man. You want to listen to each other. What advice would you give to other kids who might be freshmen, sophomores in high school, but might want to change their situation? You know, what would you say to them if they were thinking about transferring?
You know, everybody's journey, everybody has different journeys. Don't look on the next man. Just focus on yourself and just don't give up, basically. Like, your time will come. You just gotta, if you really want it, you gotta go get it, no matter what.
All right, Danny Lockhart II, man. We're gonna have Lindsay up shortly with Danny's father, Danny Lockhart Sr., who's gonna discuss from a parent's perspective the transfer process and, you know, and how it's affected their family. But stay tuned, Danny Lockhart Sr. Danny Lockhart II, man, St. John Bosco linebacker. He's a beast on the field. Check him out, man, on Friday nights.
Oh, you know, we're just thankful. I think I'm like every dad that loves his kids, and you know, I was just there to support his dream, and yeah, so that's what it was. I knew it would be a big sacrifice, and he believed that he could do it, and I didn't want to stand in that way. Like, Danny was like, I can do it. I can be that guy. And, you know, at that point, nothing mattered. Money didn't matter. My career didn't matter. Nothing mattered. I just wanted to support. I wanted to support my kids. The school is amazing. Coach Negro is amazing. Coach Rob Fuyava, Terry Bullock. I mean, I played football with Terry Bullock. He was, and these are the linebacker coaches to my son. So, I mean, these guys are amazing. The brotherhood, the family. Our tailgate party tells a story because Bosco Tailgate Party is a family, and I can't speak enough about the school. Like, it's been a great experience. You know, it's just exciting. Like, we travel, you know, like, the facility is like just top notch, and Coach Negro has uniforms and gloves. I mean, like, I came out of Carson High, and it was tough in the 90s for the city and the budgets, and so it's really nice to go to a school and just kids, you know, I mean, like, they do well behind their kids. And then I had opportunity to travel with Bosco to Hawaii and see how Bosco takes care of the kids, the parents. I mean, first class. That, you know, everything is first class at Bosco. Just have faith. You know, just have faith. You're better off having faith in your kids. You know, whether they make it, whether they don't, but you gave it your best. No parent wants to go to sleep at night and talk about the coulda, woulda, shouldas of life. So my biggest, you know, pet peeve to parents or dads out there like me or moms out there is have faith. When your child looks at you and he says, I have a dream, I believe I could be somebody, you're better off just going with that no matter what happens, because at the end of the day, you might get lucky. We lucked up. We rolled the dice. We were like, we're here. So have faith. Danny was definitely an overlooked kid, and all the check marks that people had in concerning, you know, towards Danny's recruiting, he's checked a lot of those check marks, and so, you know, he's progressed. So I'm really happy for him. I'm excited for him as his father, just to be a part of it.
All right, we've got an 8th grader here on the show today, man, and I just, you know, I can't help but laugh when I say that because everybody knows us, and, you know, we don't cover it if it's not varsity. I'm just going to be real with you, man. There's too many kids at the varsity level that need help that we can't help, so we really stay away from the younger cats, man. But I came across this video on IG maybe about a month or so ago, and I couldn't stop watching it, and I shared it, and it was this guy, you know, to my right, to your left, and he did something I've never seen, and it ended up going viral. He basically shook the whole team. He went beast mode on beast mode. He made Marshawn Lynch's beast mode run look like, you know, a walk in the park. But this man, Jordan Lockhart, he went crazy, man. And you did something, man. You did something that a lot of you guys are doing nowadays, man, that kind of, I was even taken aback by. You took everybody who shared your viral video and you made a video and you were able to capitalize and like keep that momentum from, you know, all the exposure you got. But, you know, what was the thought process in your head, you know, and how many followers did you gain?
Like, shoot, man, like 5,000 something. It was going crazy, but it all started. So I appreciate you guys for setting the tone for me, putting me on the map, like not just for me, but for my family. And I give all the credit to my father for like helping us to push us where we're at right now.
Oh yeah.
But I was really excited because that play, I seen it. You know, plays like that, they don't really happen like that. Those are stuff that you'd be seeing on the movies and TVs and stuff. So after the play, I was like, shoot, man, let's do something crazy. So I put it on the internet, I tagged everybody shared it, they liked it. But I just thank God for the opportunity I have right now. I thank my 2 older brothers for always pushing me.
Who made the video that you posted when you put everybody's stuff together?
My dad.
Because man, that was hard. I'm not gonna lie though, man. So you know, you thanking your dad is definitely the right thing, because you know the power, that just goes to show you the power that parents have to take all this digital media that you have on your kids these days and put it together to make something that could eventually help your son or your daughter get out there. And what happened? You just got your first offer.
Yes, sir. It all like that's what I'm saying. Like it all started with a dream, and the dream's coming true. Like every day we're working, we thank God every day, and stay humble, stay hungry, never satisfied.
All right, hold on. So in 3 years, you know, when I post you on Instagram, you know, are you gonna comment? Or are you gonna be too cool, man?
Never that. I'm never too cool for it. I'm never too cool for anybody, because at the end of the day, like I'm a regular person, just like everybody else.
Yes,
so,
sir.
You know, when I see everyone, like, don't look at me like some superstar. Look at me like a regular person, because I look up to a lot of people.
All right, what's your GPA?
GPA, I'm like in the 3 points.
Okay.
But you can always do better. That's why I'm saying never satisfied with the work you be doing.
What I like to say, man, is if you're not as competitive in the classroom as you are on the field,
It would not matter.
you know, yeah, you're gonna have it tough in life. But Jordan Lockhart, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but this man, he's gonna be a beast. He's headed out over to St. John Bosco to follow the family. He's an 8th grader. He'll be a freshman next year, but you might just find him on varsity, and you might see him in the end zone a few times. But Jordan Lockhart, man, thank you very much, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the show LA, sponsored by Zort Sports. And by the way, you can download the Zort Sports app on iPhone or Android. Make your tournaments or leagues much more efficient with the Zort Sports software. Download Zort Sports, man, and the rest is history. Easy breezy, stress-free tournament and league scheduling. And Lindsay has some more.
Yeah, and once you have that app, make sure to follow the Southern California High School football page. You score those games and you're gonna win some swag.
All right, everyone, a few updates this week on our CLA Award nominees. So on the offensive side, much of everything remains the same. We've got DJ Ungolele, we've got Bryce Young, we've also got Gary Bryant, Miller Moss, Chris Street and Damian Moore, the 2 Cal running back commits. And then we've got an addition to our Offensive Player of the Year category this week. Lindsay?
Yes, we are adding another quarterback, CJ Stroud, out of Rancho Cucamonga. He's averaging over 300 passing yards a game. They just got a big win over Chino Hills. So that is our one change for the offensive category.
CJ Stroud, definitely a baller, Elite 11 MVP, and now he's on the list for our nominees for Offensive Player of the Year. And then next for Defensive Player of the Year, much of everything again remaining the same. We've got Justin Flo, Clark Phillips, Court Williams. We've got Rajon Davis from Mater Dei, Junior Tuialamaka from Alamany, and then the addition this week is J. Sarah linebacker Jaden Genova, high motor, relentless pursuit. We've actually covered every J. Sarah game this year, and this guy, he's a stopper. Jaden Genova added to the list for CLA Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, and then Coach of the Year also had one change, an addition. Coach Steve Haggerty of Bishop Vermont, huge win this week over Alamany, and it was a narrow victory, and they also had that big win over Cathedral. Gutsy call for that 2-point conversion that won them the game, so big shout out to him, and that is our one change for Coach of the Year.
All right, so Lindsay, we've got our game of the week. So this week, practically in Mexico, San Diego. San Juan Capistrano. But we've got Jay Serra hosting Bosco, which is going to be an amazing game. Last year, 35-28, Bosco won. Jay Serra had a great game last year against the Braves. Had a block punt for a touchdown. Had an interception deep in Bosco territory that led to a touchdown pass. And the Braves barely squeaked out. So this year,
a lot of people saying Jay Serra might be the one to bring down Bosco. I'm going to be there to see it. DSPN will be there shooting the game. So let's see what the Braves do against Jay Serra.
It's going to be a great game. Jay Serra has a really young team, but can they match up? Let's see. Trinity League battle.
All right, so now y'all know where to go. It's going to be Bosco at Jay Serra in San Juan Capistrano. What are our key figures, key players to watch, both sides?
So Bosco, the obvious, right? We've got DJ Ungalale, considered the top prospect in the entire nation, and Bosco has a host of ballers. Chris Hudson, we've got Court Williams, who's nominated for our Defensive Player of the Year. Danny Lockhart, who was just in the studio today. So Bosco's got a ton of guys, but on the other side, Jay Serra, young team. Zamaje Duncan, number 44, definitely a baller. I believe he wears 44 because of this dude right here in the background. Buki Riley Hiles. And then we've got Sammy Green, number 24, a youngster who's definitely making an impact. Chris Street, obviously. We've got Jeff Percy at left tackle, Michigan commit. We've also got at quarterback with one of the best names in all of high school football, General Booty. So he's out there, putting in work, man. Every time we post him, the comments are hilarious. But General Booty, he's a baller, man. No disrespect, man. But man, a great game.
Yeah,
Bosco
we're going to have our A-team out there, so you don't want to miss it. Good Trinity League battle.
And by the way, if you ever see us out at a game, say what's up, man. We're friendly, we're cool. If you see Lindsay out, if you see AP, ESPN, man, chop it up, say what's up, man. We would love to talk to you guys.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on the second installment of the show, LA. Before we go, though, remember, you can get our crew out to your game if you follow those 3 easy steps we outlined earlier in the show. And make sure to give us a follow on IG. It's at The Show LA. AP, take it away.
Yeah, follow at The Show LA. Follow our partner, Zorts Sports. That's Zorts_sports. And follow SportsRecruits. I'm AP. This is Lindsay. This is The Show LA. Stay tuned for week 3. We'll have some dope highlights and much more.
Yeah, right there. And then put your hand.
Go ahead and try to feel for it.
All right.
You can start.
What we have here? Oh,
Jesus.
Whoa, what the heck?
what the? It's like a fur ball.
It feels like cotton, like a pillow. Wait, hold on. Why does it feel like a teeth? Like something's about to bite me.
What is it?
I'm not gonna guess what this is.
It feels like the things that are in the roof. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know how to explain it, but
Is it like a wig? Oh gosh, I can't say what.
Get your hands in there.
No, it's like a spider web.
Oh!
like a pillow, like what's in the cushion. Like cotton.
Yeah,
It's like an animal. This is weird. What the heck? What is this? It's like.